All right. Well, hope you guys are doing well. Wanted to fit a lot into this video today, November 23rd. First, we'll do an update of where I'm at on a few things. I finished the here. Let's look at the board here. I finished the Cosgrala 2018 Nets car for Mr. MR, and those were shipped today. So those are all crossed off. Shipped out Mike Smurf's car, and the next 5 on there, as you can see. I've got the Blaney Dickies and the Blaney Duracell for RA, the Larson and the Kenseth for MB, and the AA for or the Montoya for AA. Those are all being worked right now, and I hope to finish those within the next week. So that's my plan this week. So here's what I've got. Sitting here ready to be decaled. Got the GameStop, got the Crest, I've got the Blaney Duracell, and here's where the Blaney's Dickies are. I've got to work those. There's a Minions car. Just finished decaling this 2007 Kenny Wallace. As a special request I got via email, so trying to get that done. Excuse me. So I've got these 2 Dickies working. I've got another Duracell if I get the chance. I'll add that there. It's my dad's birthday this week, and he asked for a trump car, so I'm trying to squeeze this one in as quickly as I can. I just painted this morning, and so that's why that's there. Trying to get that for my dad for his birthday. Kind of rush job, but working that. There's a couple more on my list that aren't on the board. I've got a Mario Kart Kenseth one. I've got a Eric McClure Hefty Ultimate. Those are started. And then I wanted to do another Crest car because I painted one with the this one with the deep blue, and I don't know. I wanted to try one with the navy blue and see which one comes out better. And since I was painting the Trump one, navy blue, figured I might as well paint that at the same time once I had the can already out and ready to go. So that's why that one's at that stage. And then let me show you this COT that I've been working. This is one I started a little bit ago. Just added it to the list. Or it was at the bottom of the list, but I added it to this start. And it's been sitting here most of the day like this because I needed to glue the spoiler back on. So I've got it all put back together pretty much. So this is looking pretty good. Pretty happy with this. Yeah, this all came back together really nice. A lot of times when I push these back in, especially this rear window on this side or on this side, it'll chip the paint, but it didn't happen on this one, so that's cool. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I had you saw the earlier video, I had one of the posts for this going back in, and I just used a little bit of the clear tester's glue. A little bit on that, just a little bit on that, got that positioned in place, and then I rested it like that. And so, it's super fragile, no doubt about it. It could easily come off, but it's on there now, and hopefully it won't come off. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this all went back together. I'll get some of the epoxy and put it in here just to secure those. Those are it's doesn't look like it's glued, but it's the clear glue that's already dried over that. So I definitely want to keep that in place so the hood doesn't come off. But yeah, this is turning out really well. I'm real happy with it. So I'm just gonna set that right there like that. So here's like what I got a couple things working. So I was at where was I? I can't remember. I guess I was at Walmart. Yeah, I went to a number of different stores the other day on Saturday after our men's prayer breakfast. Ran around, just hit Hobby Lobby, hit Walmart, hit Home Depot, hit Floor and Decor because I needed to do something for the floor. But I was looking for a fluorescent paint from Oleum, and I was also looking at Hobby Lobby, and I didn't see anything. So I'm going to try this Krylon fluorescent, and I'm not going to be able to try it in this video. I'm not ready to do that. But the reason I wanted to try that, let me get this here positioned right here. The reason I want to try that is for these Blaney cars. So this is this color here is the yellow high performance blue, and I'm sorry, the Rust-Oleum high performance yellow, and it's a really good paint. I really like it, but it doesn't match perfectly with the rims there, and I think this might do a better match. And so I'm gonna finish this car, but I also want to try one with this fluorescent, and that's kind of the holdup, Mr. RA. I'm doing the Blaney Dickies for you and Blaney's Duracell. I want to make one with this Krylon, compare it to this one, and send you the better of the both of both. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and so I just need to get this Krylon and see if this is really going to be a good color. A lot of times, some of these fluorescents, they don't give a nice full coverage. You've got to do like 2 or 3 multiple light coats in order for it to turn out really well. So we'll just see. I'm not usually a big fan of Krylon, but I'm willing to give it a chance. So we'll see how that goes. And if you hear the music in the background, I've got Sirius XM going, channel 63, The Message. So that's why that's in the background. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you guys. Well, really 2 more things, but I'll show you this. So I've told you before about my issues with Rust-Oleum gloss paint. So this is the high performance enamel white, and actually this is a tip that I pulled off of another paint can, because on the gloss paints they really clog up, and it's really frustrating. So on Friday, I think it was, on Friday, I went ahead and I called them. So I called this 1-800-481-4785 number. And I was on hold for a good while. I was probably on hold for a good half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, before I got to actually talk to somebody. And I told them, what I do, and that I've got about, I think I got like 40, maybe 50 cans of paint here, Rust-Oleum paint. And I said that, it's pretty simple. I run into problems with the gloss paint, and it seems that the tips will clog up well before the paint can is exhausted. And he said, yeah, I understand. I've heard that complaint a number of times. And I asked him if they sold these tips, right? Because they sell, obviously, the paint. But I wanted to know if they sold like a package of these tips or spray nozzles, maybe like a pack of 8 or 10 or something like that I could buy. And he said, no, they don't sell them. But he says, if we'll take your name and address, I'll ship you some for free. And I said, that's a great deal. I'll take that. So I went ahead and gave him my name and address. And a couple things that he wanted was he wanted this information. He wanted to know what the serial number, the number of the paint that I had. So I gave him this one, and I gave him another one that I have that's not this high performance, just the regular, painter's touch, ultra cover paint and primer. So he's going to send me some, And so that's great, you know. And so if I continue to have these problems, I'm going to continue to call them. Sure, I have to wait on hold for a while, but I think that's probably the best way for Rust-Oleum to recognize if they're having, you know, customer issues with their paint, is for us to call them, you know. So I encourage you guys, if you use Rust-Oleum and you're having the same problem I'm having with a lot of the gloss paints, the nozzles clogging up well before the paint can is used up, go ahead and call the number on the can. You know, you're gonna have to wait, but go ahead and call the number on the can and give them your name and address and the numbers of the paint codes, and they'll send you some free nozzles. So I'm looking forward to that. Probably in the next, you know, couple weeks, I expect to get those. So I applaud Rust-Oleum for that, and I'll let you know how that turns out when you know, when it shows up. So. All right, all right, next thing I wanted to show you guys. I went ahead and bought a couple cars off eBay. I do this every once in a while. I'll search for cars, and these two cars. This is a 2008 COT, and then this Casey Kane car came with it, and this total was like $6 shipped. I mean, you can't beat that. You know, a COT 2008. This is actually a Chevrolet. But and then this, you know, Casey Kane car. This is a Dodge. You know, what is this? 2006. So it'll be probably rare if I really use this, but you know, this will just go in my stock in case somebody asks for one of these in the future. I'll pull it out and use it. But you know, for $6 I can get two cars. You know, that's not a bad deal. So those came in the mail today. Happy to get those. And then something else came in the mail today, and that is this. Another of my orders from Pato for decals. This is probably, well, I might be able to get one more in before Christmas, but this is probably my last set, next to last set that I'm going to have for this year. Pretty much any orders that I get from now on are probably not going to be done until January at the earliest. And I'm kind of running at a higher pace than I have been this year. Earlier actually the last couple years, trying to pick it up since I've, you know, started doing some videos. I'm getting a little bit more requests, and I'm trying to keep up with them, but it's not easy to do. So let's see what we got here. I'll show you guys what I got. Yep, got some Blaney cars that I requested. So here's Blaney Sylvania Menards 2020 Mustang. Looks pretty straightforward. Black on the front end. And then it's gonna, maybe I'll use that fluorescent yellow and make these. Yeah, I get a lot of Blaney requests, as you know. Last order I had, Pato had messed up and sent me the wrong decal sheet for one of my special requests. So here's the Jeb Burton Estes car. So yeah, it's nice to get that. Pretty straightforward. It's a black scheme, and then you apply mostly these yellow and red decals over top of it. Not too hard. Well, now that I look at it, this will be interesting. You see how this front end here is all yellow, and then you have this red line that's got to connect with this. Okay, so maybe this will be a little bit more challenging than I thought. Oh dear. And you know what's worse? This cuts through the Goodyear. See that? So that's going to have to be one decal. And and I can't really do much else with it. You know, I can't separate them out, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, that should be real fun. Okay, here's a Brendan Gaughan Napa Auto Parts number 62 Chevy Camaro from Xfinity series. Yep, Xfinity, yes. So that's just your Napa blue. Doesn't look too difficult. Yeah. This is one of his throwback scheme. I can see the special Moog. Yeah. That won't be too difficult. And also sometimes you can tell it's Xfinity, a throwback scheme is if this Goodyear is completely horizontal. It doesn't have an arc in it. It's completely horizontal. A lot of times that's a Darlington throwback scheme. And I also look at this Moog, like this is a throwback Moog decal, and that tells me that's it as well. And then of course you could look at this little logo right here where it says NASCAR race car, and it's a special kind of with wings. Yeah, kind of giveaway there too. All right, so we got another Blaney. Here's the Atlas Designer Shingles car. I'm kind of assuming this is also the fluorescent yellow. Maybe white. No, it's not going to be white because this is white and this white outline. It's probably fluorescent yellow as well. Yeah. So that'll be fun. It doesn't look overly difficult as long as these things line up with this front. Yeah. Okay, here's a Blaney Rev for Life Fleetwood RV. This is white. You can see it says vote for the captain. So I think I've made this car before, but this is one that he drove later in the season, and it says vote for the captain. I think that's NASCAR Hall of Fame. And you've got the body armor and a price chopper. It's price chopper. I think that's a Kansas race. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that won't be too hard. The hardest part on these things is this little design, getting it to line up with the front here. It's not the easiest, but that's pretty much the hardest part. And sometimes this front end doesn't stretch all the way to the sides. So, whatever. And then here's a I don't know the guy's first name, but his last name is Howard. This is the red Saney number 15 Xfinity car. So that's pretty easy. The whole car's red. And this one's going to be a little bit harder. This is a Snyder number 21 Tax Slayer. So when you're working these Chevy Camaros, as we've talked about, the decal sheet doesn't always line up, but I'll do my best on that. And then the last one here is an A.J. Allmendinger Ellsworth Advisors. This will be a white car. Another Camaro. And yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think this is pretty cool. I like the cursive Ellsworth over the white car, so that'll be pretty neat. Roof's all black. That shouldn't be too bad. Maybe a little difficulty around this area, trying to apply these, because I probably have to separate these out separately and then put them on. But yeah, so that's what's in the mail. Looks like I got everything I ordered. So okay, last thing I wanted to show you guys. I'll take the last 9 minutes or so of this video, if I can find a place to set this. trying to paint these a little bit different. And so I'm going to get this ready for painting, and trying to speed up my painting process. So let's move it over here, and I'll clean this up, and I'll show you how I'm thinking to speed up my painting process for some of these. And I've used it. I used it on the last car I painted, last couple cars I painted, and it seemed to work out pretty well. And I think I'm going to continue to do it this way, just because it does speed up my painting, and I think it also helps sometimes with my paint curling, because sometimes when I paint the bottom, like I'll paint this bottom side and then I'll let it dry and I'll flip it over and I'll paint the top. Sometimes I get a little curling when I had overspray on the bottom and I do a second coat over top of it, and I get a little heavy, and it'll curl on me. And so if I do it the way I'm going to show you guys going forward, that will minimize that, if not eliminate it altogether. So this wire brush is about had it, as you can see. About had it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have the camera pointing down and I'm showing you stuff, but trying to, like I said, trying to speed up the painting process a little bit, and without, any detrimental impacts to the quality. I like to get rid of all the paint ever so caught in the corners and things like that sometimes the wire brush doesn't catch. So to make sure it's free of the paint. I mean, you're going to get some underneath here, obviously, that I'm not too concerned about. I do try to clean out the wheel wells if I can. So my schedule for this week is, today's Monday, so I plan on doing a video, obviously this video Monday. I'll do another video on Wednesday. Don't have work on Wednesday, taking that day off as we get ready to have some people over for Thanksgiving. And it's going to be tough for me to do much on Thanksgiving Day, because Thanksgiving Day is going to be getting the deep fryer ready to deep fry the turkey. And then, of course, just getting the house all ready for people to come over. So probably not going to do a video on Thursday, but then I'll be back at it on Friday. So yeah, I'll save my happy Thanksgivings to you all for Wednesday's video. But yeah, also want to do my musings probably on Wednesday as well. So I'll do a couple videos on Wednesday. But if you don't get to watch the Wednesday video, let me say happy Thanksgiving to you now. So, alright, last step. This one's pretty clean, so I don't really have to do a whole lot with this one. Do a lot with this steel wool. Alright. To see how nice and shiny and clean, I try to make all these cars before I paint them. Want to get them completely free of anything, as best as I can, and before I go to paint them. So, all right, let's go over to the painting area. Kind of wiping it off with my leg here. Make sure it's completely clean of everything. And I'll show you guys how I paint this thing. Okay, so I'm gonna get this. I want to get under here to get so there's nothing that I won't be able to get from the top. So I want to spray that, spray the back, and then I'll flip it over and spray the whole car. Okay, so I didn't spray the side, so I can grab it and flip it over. And that's it. That way I can do it all in one step. So I did the bottom and that. So I'm going to carry it over here. So again, it just is all done basically one coat, the bottom, the top, all in one coat, and I don't have any issues with the sides or anything like that. And then once that dries, and usually the primers will dry in, I mean the white primer will probably dry in half an hour, maybe I'll give it an hour, and then I'll be able to put another coat on top of it. And for this one I'll probably put a coat of the high performance enamel on it, just a light coat of it, and then I'll let it dry and it'll be done. And so I'll do this one as well. This one's going to get white. But that little technique of painting the bottom and then immediately flipping it over and painting it, probably should have been doing that for a while, but that will definitely help speed things up in the painting process as I move forward. So that's what I did with these. It does stick, because the only place on this little resting area, is right here. But I don't really care, right? I don't really care what that looks like right there. What I care about is the outside. Not too concerned. I like to get a coat on the bottom. Just make sure I get the wheel wells and kind of around here, so you can see that it's fully painted. But if it rubs a little bit here, I don't really care because that's not seen, right? And so the fact that it's wet and I put it